If you want to know why altcoins are not pumping, then this is the video for you. After an explosive run over the last 2 weeks, we've finally seen some big pullbacks around all altcoins within the crypto market. And today we're going to show you why that happened, what to look out for to be able to predict when the next one is coming, and stay around to the end because I'm also going to show you some altcoins that I'm currently looking to take advantage of buying this dip. So make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get into the content. So first off, what we need to be able to analyze is Bitcoin runs in a cycle, and it's called the Bitcoin dominance. When the Bitcoin dominance is going up and Bitcoin is increasing at the same time, we tend to see the alts come down. Vice versa, when the Bitcoin dominance is decreasing and Bitcoin is increasing, we then start to see the alts run in a massive parabolic run, which is what we have seen over the last couple of weeks. And if we take a look at the charts, what we're seeing right now, on the left I have the Bitcoin chart, and on the right I have the Bitcoin dominance chart. And what we can see that over the last couple of days, Bitcoin, it was coming down and the Bitcoin dominance was going up. Now what this is telling us is that money is flowing out of the alts and Bitcoin is reclaiming more percentage share of the entire crypto market. Therefore, if there is $100 million in crypto, Bitcoin is currently holding up 57% of all of that money, meaning there is less money now in the other coins such as altcoins. Now, I was able to predict this move by using some simple TA. I looked at the Bitcoin dominance and I saw price was coming down, making lower lows, whilst the RSI indicator was making higher highs. So was the CCI indicator also making higher highs. This is what we call a bullish divergence, and traders often use this kind of a pattern to analyze when momentum is running out to a certain direction. Once I seen the momentum starting to shift, we then saw the big run on the Bitcoin dominance, and that led to what gave us the massive dump that occurred overnight. Now, if you don't already have this cheat sheet, I'm going to put the link in the descriptions below. I recommend jumping into our platform. It's free. You can download this, print it off, and put it on your desk. So last night, crazy night. Last night was the biggest amount of long liquidations of this bull cycle so far. In 24 hours, 569,000 traders were liquidated for a total of liquidations of $1.71 billion. Absolutely massive. A lot of traders need to know how to read this Bitcoin dominance chart to help prevent that from happening to them. But let's have a look at what caused this crash. So if we can analyze first off what caused Bitcoin to crash, then what caused the altcoins to crash, we can understand how the market works and then be able to predict when a future crash could come. Now, going back to this post here. So today's dump was the biggest liquidation since 2001, but we need to analyze something. A lot of the selling pressure was coming from Coinbase. Now, if we look at this chart here, what we can analyze is that traders on Coinbase started selling much earlier, and then the big dump came on the bigger exchanges. Now, if we have a look at what that could be caused, or what could be causing that, last week we spoke about Silk Road and how they just moved close to $2 billion to Coinbase Prime. And when you see a big institution move $2 billion of Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime, chances are they're moving it there because they're getting ready to sell. Now, given the fact that the selling pressure did come from Coinbase, it could be that the US government was offloading those $2 billion worth of Bitcoin from Silk Road. Another thing that we need to then analyze is we need to look at previous bull markets. And what we can see that although the bull market did close much higher at the end of 2017, what we did realize that throughout the bull market, this is a chart pulled from the internet that I found, and basically what it's telling me here is that if we go back and we have a look at the previous bull market, what we would realize is that we have had dumps of 50%, 28%, 47%. Getting dumps in bull markets is still very common. Remember that what goes up must come down at some point, and people look to take profits as prices are going up. This doesn't exactly mean that the bull market is over. It just means we are taking a pause, and us as traders are able to then sell at a level and then be able to rebuy at a lower price and then ride the next wave up. Same thing happened in the 2019 bull market, where we had a 67% crash at the start. That was due to COVID. We then saw multiple crashes of 20% and above, even one of about 60%. So if you're in this game for the long term, what you're going to need to realize is that throughout this bull market, there's going to be dips. Make sure that you're not over leveraged. Make sure that you're able to read that Bitcoin dominance chart just like I showed at the start, because then you're going to be able to pick when these big dumps could be coming. Another leading indicator is using this website called CoinGlass. And if you click on the Funding rate heat map, it'll bring up this chart here. What we find is that when there is too much funding in the market, and that means when people have opened up too many long positions or leveraged positions to go up, what tends to happen is we tend to get a bit of a flush in the market. Now, whenever we see this chart go yellow or orange, that's telling us that there is an extreme amount of funding that's currently open. And to me personally, I then look at this and say a dump could be coming soon. Let's have a look here. When we saw the leverage was yellow, or the funding was yellow to orange, that was around the 3rd of March. If we come back here and we look at the Bitcoin chart on the 3rd of March, how did the price action react? Well, if we're looking from the tip top at around the 14th of March, we then got a massive drop where we went down for about 17%, and that then also caused the altcoins to dump quite a significant amount around that period. So we need to be able to analyze this funding rate heat map, and this is something that I look at daily. And if you can take notice of it on the smaller time frame, you'll notice that look how high it got. It started to get really, really heated where people were paying up to 107% yearly in interest just to open their leverage positions. But then as of last night, as soon as the big flush came, what happened? The leverage all got flushed out and now it's only 10%. So you can use this as a gauge to know when there's too many long positions open in the market, too many people leveraged to go in the up direction. And when this happens, we can almost expect, it's not guaranteed at 100% rate, but there is a more or less a probability that a leverage flush could be coming soon, and that is exactly what we saw. Next thing we need to look at is on Thursday, we have the CPI announcements, and the CPI announcements are a big gauge of inflation. Now, the issue that we have with this is if inflation comes out a little bit too high, it means that interest rates may not be getting further cuts. And if you've been tracking this for some time, you'll know that as interest rates get cut, there's a higher probability that the price of Bitcoin and stocks go higher. But when interest rates go up, there's also a higher probability that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptos and stocks can go down. So we need to be able to also take a look at what's happening here with the CPI, and it is scheduled to come in at approximately 0.27%. But keep your eyes out for Thursday, 12:30 a.m. This is Melbourne time. If it does come above 2.8, we could see more red on the sheets into the next few days. Now, the reason why this is so important is because in 8 days from now, we have the next FOMC meeting where they're going to decide on where the interest rates are going to go, if they're going to ease them or if they're going to hike them. And as of recording this current video, we can see that the potential for them to ease the rates is currently at 85.8%. However, if we get a really bad inflation reading, this could then change to maybe something lower, or maybe they might even keep rates even where they are, and that could also affect the crypto market. So historically, as we've come up to these FOMC events, usually a week before, we do get some big volatility in the markets, and we have seen some pretty crazy dumps coming into these FOMC meetings. So another thing that you need to be aware of, maybe make some notes. I hope you're writing all this down. Really study this video because there is a couple of little hidden secrets of the crypto market that not everyone really talks about. We talk about these live in our platform pretty much 4 days a week, and it's something that really everyone needs to know. But now let's talk about some altcoins. So the altcoin that I'm currently looking at is Ethereum. We can see that right now Ethereum has a really good bullish divergence on the weekly. Just like I showed you guys earlier before, the chart of the Bitcoin dominance, we're seeing a very similar pattern start to happen on the Bitcoin pairing. And this can tell us that Ethereum may be starting to outpace Bitcoin. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is a post by Ash Crypto, and he's saying Ethereum 2023 to Ethereum 2024, 5 months of accumulation, 3 months of capitulation and bottom formation, 5 months of uptrend, sideways accumulation and bottom formation has already happened. And basically what he's saying is we have now entered the 5-month uptrend for Ethereum. And based off this, we can also see that there is a newfound interest for the Ethereum ETF. We went from getting very small inflows every single day, 3 million to negative 8.1 million a day, all the way to now seeing $428 million flow into ETH in the single day. Now, whilst I am currently trading a little bit of ETH, where I have my interest is on the Ethereum ecosystem tokens, because when ETH runs, there is a probability that the Ethereum ecosystem tokens are also going to run with it. So the coins that I'm currently watching, if ETH decides to finally put in some good green candles is I'm going to be looking at some of the ETH layer 2s, and it's in particularly the ones that are making the most fees in the last 90 days. Some of those coins that I'm currently looking at trading, and I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not exactly telling you to go ahead and buy them, or for instance buy them now. I do highly recommend that you learn how to trade first so that you can find good entries, because these will fluctuate. But I'm currently looking at Optimism, which is currently down 9% today. Now, as a trader, I'm happy with that 9% dip, because now I can then go in and buy some at a cheaper price. Same as Arbitrum, also currently down 9%. So once again, well, I'm looking to accumulate some of that. And last but not least, I also want to get some Blast. Now, this hasn't yet gone on its big parabolic run. It's still quite cheap, down 14% today, and only has a market cap of 250 million. So I'm also looking at accumulating some Blast. And the very last coin I have, it didn't load for some reason, is ZK Sync. We can see that all of these coins are putting in really good amounts of fees. People are using the network. Of course, Blast and ZK Sync, they're still a little bit under the radar. They're still quite low, but that's why I want to be able to take advantage of them now before they get big. So just a couple of altcoins to look. I do recommend that before you go ahead and buy coins or jump into the crypto space, if you don't know how to trade, make sure you check out the link in the description. I'm going to give you guys access to our social media platform for crypto traders. And on here, you're going to get access to a complete course where you'll be able to learn to analyze the charts to then find when may be a better time to enter or exit the market. But I hope this information that I gave you helped today, and if I can ask for just one favor from you, if you can please drop a comment, let me know if this content was useful for you. It does help me to make more videos in the future and give you guys exactly what you need. Please hit that like button, make sure you've smashed subscribe, and I'm going to see you next week on next week's video. Bye for now.